Good morning, dear students. I welcome you for the biology class. Today, in this video, we'll study about a new chapter, diversity in living organism. First, we'll study about the introduction part. So, we all know that there are abundant of living organisms present on the earth. Many organisms are not identical to each other. This variety of living organisms present on the earth is called biodiversity. Biologists have identified and classified around 1.7 million species of organisms on this earth. Most of the species are found in tropical regions of the world. There's a separate branch in biology called taxonomy, which deals with identification, naming, and classification of different organisms which is present on the earth. Carolus Linnaeus, known as the father of modern taxonomy. Classification of living organisms. So it was first given by Aristotle. So he classified animals on their basis of their habitats: land, water, air. But it can be easily observed that animals that live at a particular habitat, say for example land, still we can see some difference from each other. So they are different from each other. So therefore it was decided to classify the living organisms on their basis of their hierarchy. This hierarchical classification was based on similarities and dissimilarities in the classification, the characteristics of living organism. Organism having similar characteristics were placed in similar category. What do you mean by classification? It's a method of arranging organism into groups or set on the basis of their similarities and differences. And why classification is important? Why do we require classification? Why we have to classify an organism? So here are the four important points. It makes a study of wide variety of organisms very easy and systematic manner. So we can study in a systematic manner and we can study a wide variety of organisms. It helps us to understand how the different organisms have evolved with time. It helps to understand the interrelationship among different groups of organisms. It forms a basis for the study of other biological sciences like biogeography. Coming to basis of classification. So there are certain features or the properties used to classify living organisms known as characteristic. Organisms with the same characteristics are placed in same group. For example, presence and absence of nucleus in the cell, body composed of single cell or a group of cell, autotrophs or heterotrophs, development and organization of different body parts. So what is nomenclature? An organism can have different names in different language, which creates a confusion. So a scientific name is needed which is same in all languages. Binomial nomenclature system given by Carolus Linnaeus is used for naming different organisms. The following are some conventions in writing a scientific name. Genus should be written followed by species. First letter of the genus should be capital and that of species should be a small letter. So you can see this in an example. When printed, the name should be written in italics. And when written with hands, genus and species should be underlined separately. Homo sapiens for humans, Panthera tigris for tiger. Classification and evolution. It is a very established fact that all life forms have evolved from a common ancestor. Scientists have proved that all life began on the earth in this form of simple life forms. During the course of time, the complex organisms have evolved. So, classification is also based on evolution. What is evolution? Over a course of time, the living organisms accumulate changes. These changes could be in their body type, or size, or features. These changes allow them to survive better with a change in environment. This is called evolution, and this concept was introduced by Charles Darwin. So, what are primitive and advanced organisms? Primitive are the ones where they do have an ancient body design. Their body haven't undergone any changes with time. So they are called lower organisms. So there'll be no many changes in case of primitive. So they are called lower organisms as well. Coming to advanced, so they have acquired a changes. So they are recently acquired a body changes. So there you can see many changes in their body also. So they are also called higher organisms. Coming to hierarchical classification, so two kingdom classification, three kingdom classification. Two kingdom classification was given by Carolus Linnaeus in 1758. That's plants and animals. So Robert Whittaker in 1959. So he gave five kingdom classification: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Whereas Carl in 1977 introduced two more subdivisions in Monera, that is Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. The order of classification. It's like this: the kingdom, phylum or division, class, order, family, genus, species. So, species is called the basic unit of classification. It's a group of organisms which can interbreed with each other. So, this is the hierarchical order of humans. So, coming to kingdom, it's animals, which organisms able to move. So, it comes under animalia. Phylum chordata, so far which they do have a backbone. Coming to class, it's mammals. So these chordates with fur or hair and they have milk glands. Order, primates. So they do have a collarbone and grasping fingers. Coming to family, hominids. So primates with relatively flat faces and three-dimensional vision. Genus, it's Homo, hominids with the upright posture and large brains. Species, it is Homo sapiens, so members of the genus Homo with a high forehead and thin skull bones. Five kingdom classification. So, students, you are aware of this in your 8th standard. So, it is like this. Now, we do have eubacteria and archaebacteria. So, that's under Monera. So, it is Archaebacteria, it is unicellular prokaryotic, whereas eubacteria, it is unicellular prokaryotic. And we do have Protista. Then fungi, multicellular eukaryotic, then plantae and animalia. Thank you, students. We'll study about a different classification in the next class. Until then, have a nice day.